everyone, Bernard here. I hope you're all staying safe and well. Welcome to my film and TV channel. We have a film review today, a surreal comedy drama they call it. Yeah, that's one word for it, I suppose. Anyway, so please join me over at a film called French Exit. Please, if you're new to the channel, push that subscribe button, push the bell notifications if all my film and TV stuff, information and review vlogs, etc. And there's some stuff on Manchester City, my football team as well. So if that's any interest, have a look. If it's not, don't bother. Or if you know somebody who might be interested, please point them in my direction. I'll be very grateful. And there's links on screen for Facebook and Twitter and a couple of little eBay shops I've got selling DVDs, movie posters and board games as well. So you can check that out at any time. I'll be very much appreciative. Anyway, thanks for joining me for this. Yeah, all your comments are welcome. An interesting one, this. Pretty much splits opinions, to be honest with you. I mean, there's one main element that sort of seems to hold it all together, and that's a certain actress called Michelle Pfeiffer. Anyway, so we'll have a look at this. An hour and 53 minutes, quite long for this sort of drama film. It's certainly one that isn't sort of grabbing you every 5 minutes sort of thing. Directed by Azazel Jacobs. I'm not too familiar. He's probably done a few things, but I've not checked what else he's done. And it's based on the novel of the same title by Patrick DeWitt, of course, if you're into Patrick DeWitt, who also wrote the screenplay. It tells the story of a Manhattan heiress. Yeah, she's played by Michelle Pfeiffer. She played Frances Price. Lucas Hedges plays Malcolm Price, a son or elder son. Eddie Holland stars as a younger version. Valerie Mahaffey as Madame Reynard, and do you like that then? Susan Coyne as Joan. Yeah, the bank seizes all her property and of all her assets of the heiress Frances Price, and after her husband's death. So the close to penniless widow and her son Malcolm are left with a few options. They sell everything they can and relocate to a small apartment in Paris. She's very frugal, very not frugal. That's the opposite to what she is. She just throws money. It's no wonder she's got no money, because she just spends it like there's no tomorrow, which probably she's thinking there isn't, but there is. Yeah, so she moves to a small apartment in Paris with a family cat who's obviously got other sides to it as well. Yeah, who happens to be France's reincarnated husband, according to the spiel on this. All the scores I've got and comments I've got are at the 4th of July, yeah, 4th of July 2021, 5 PM here in the UK. Rotten Tomatoes, yeah, it's 165 critics have left a little review and score. 62% are positives, that's okay. An average rating of just 6.2 out of 10, so that's fine. 103 fresh and 62 rotten, but as you can see, there's quite a big chunk of rotten in that, isn't there? And the consensus, the smartly written French Exit offers proof that even the most caustic characters can be made entertaining and even relatable through a Michelle Pfeiffer performance. Yeah, she pretty much comes out of this okay, to be honest with you. The rotten little reviews. Robbie Colin from the Daily Telegraph here in the UK. It's the kind of format that works as long as the characters aren't all completely unbearable. I'd have to agree with that, which is, alas, not the case here. Hannah Flint, Empire Magazine. French Exit boasts an assured cast, but drab direction and lazy writing ensure the characters are never as eccentric, cutting or interesting as the film's tinkling score would have you believe. Yeah, I don't disagree with that particularly. Fresh is Dave and Stratton, though, from obviously fresh reviews include David Stratton from The Australian. The actors rise above the material for most part, but the film's enigmatic approach to the characters and the situations in which they find themselves will be very much a matter of personal taste. I'm agreeing with all these, fresh and rotten. And another fresh one, Mark Olson from the LA Times. The misadventures of the eccentrically wealthy may not exactly fit their mood right now, but the new French Exit is so genuine in its mix of art and earnest, idiosyncrasy and earthiness that it creates a space all for itself. I got through that quite well. Audience, not overly impressed. Rotten Tomatoes, just 43% positivity, so 2.9 out of 5. So again, that equates what to 5.8 out of 10, so just below watchable, so not a total disaster. Metacritic, yeah, 57 out of 100 on their 31 critics, with 6 having a positive view, 18 having a mixed view, and 7 having a negative view, and it scores anywhere between 20 out of 100, not very good, and 70 out of 100, not very good. And the user rating, again, a little bit, not too bad, 6.5 out of 10, so over that watchable. And this is where it all counts, isn't it? Internet Movie Database, Joe Public, people like you and me going to the cinema or streaming it, or whichever way it is, 3,000 6,048 reviews as I'm doing this, and scores as I'm doing this. 6 out of 10, spot on 6 out of 10 watchability. And of those 3,048, 2,037 scored it 6 or higher, so a 67% positivity rate. So it's not all too bad, is it? But there is a little bit of a opinion splitting, isn't it? And understandably so with this film, I think. So my little thoughts. Pfeiffer does a great job. He doesn't overdo it, and as a character, I think it was mentioned earlier on, most of the characters are not great fun to watch, but she's pretty horrible to start off with. I didn't like her character at all, but yeah, as the thing progresses, she does become a little bit more likeable. I'm not saying perfect by any means, but she does become a little bit more likeable as the film slowly moves on. I will say that slowly moves on. And that's the problem, really. Some extra characters, of course, are added to the mix. Of Son's in it most of the time. He's okay, a bit unexciting, a bit black. That's the odd funny comment. You know, this is a comedy, don't forget. But the things never ever really get going. There's little hints at things, but it never quite gets carried away with itself. There's a fantasy element, of course. There's seances and stuff like this, and there's chats with the dead, and obviously the feline who supposedly is the dead husband resurrected, which never sort of overly comes to anything, to be honest with you, apart from the cat walking around and lying on the bed and stuff like that. So sadly, yeah, it never quite comes together. It's all a bit higgledy-piggledy, as I like to say. There are some good quirky scenes. There's some that made me smile, but there are many just plain scenes that are a little bit unexciting, to be honest with you. That said, yes, I am in just about in the like camp. I'm not going to go over the top with my score. I'm going to give it one of those scores where I sort of sit on the fence and say, well, watch it yourself. But I do fully understand both the positives and the negatives from the people who watch this. As a strict comedy, it's not particularly funny. As I said, there's some elements that made me smile, and it's okay. There's some one-liners that were fine, some facial expressions and scenes that are fine. But I think the best idea, if you're a bit sat on the fence yourself and you got your splinters like I have on this one, just watch the trailers. That gives you an idea. It gives you an idea. It doesn't promise anything that the film actually doesn't deliver. So if you do watch the trailer, sometimes the trailers are far better, aren't they, than the film. But if you watch this trailer and you think, oh, it looks okay, and you love Michelle Pfeiffer, well, this is it. I mean, obviously, if Pfeiffer fans should enjoy this, although, as I said, she doesn't exactly... yeah, she's not very nice, and she said she does improve, but she's still not... At the end of it all, she's still not very nice and makes some weird decisions, but there you go. It's not quite all there for me. So I'm going to give it a rating. Of course, I'm going to give it a rating. And as I said, it's my sit on the fence sort of... yeah, I wouldn't put you off watching, but it's not the greatest, as I say. 5.5 out of 10 I'm going to give this anyway, as I say, just below my watchable 6 rating. But as I say, certainly wouldn't go out and watch it again, that's for one thing. But yeah, I wouldn't particularly put you off, and I think that's a good thing. If you do watch the trailer, I think that'll give you a view for it and what you're going to get for your money. If say this has actually got, as I'm recording this, is on the 5th of July 2021, it's actually got a very tiny cinema release here in the UK, and it has been streaming. So wherever you want to watch this, I'll leave that to you. But if you do, let me know anyway what you think. Anyway, thanks for watching. All you're going to do the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. So meet here again on the Film and TV channel, or perhaps you have a flit across, have a look at my Citizen channel, my football channel. I only ask one thing of you. Stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.